we go. The Rolex #1, Nelly Korda, with the honor. That'll play.
Yeah, beautiful start.
He retired, had a big smile on her face before she teed off. She's really going to enjoy this week. It's three players that have a ton of power. This is a big golf course, but generate power in different ways. Nelly Korda, she's so efficient with her golf swing. Charlie Hall literally swings fast. And Lexi Thompson has so much strength. It's just a matter of, can they hit the fairway and plot the way around the golf course?
Important questions. We'll get the answer over these 18 holes for round #1.
Well, what's difficult is if these fairways are missed just even slightly, that's where the fescue rough is the thickest.
It's hard to get momentum going, so you really have to stay patient today.
Capturing momentum in what's going to be a more than 5-hour round, and it's the type of day, if you're under par, it's a tremendous score to turn in. How would you define patience, Amanda?
It's really not getting too far ahead, not trying to think, okay, what's 2 holes ahead of me, or even behind what I just did. Trying to stay in the moment and do that golf cliche of one shot, one hole at a time, but it's so important.
Can Korda get there in 2?
She sure can with a good one. Want to be up that right side. It will kick to the left.
Iron into the par 5.
She was talking about how she was coming into the U.S. Open really well rested, having taken, and then tied for 6th at Chevron.
Scoot you back up to the green. Nelly Korda pacing off what will be her 3rd shot. Nelly Korda, Jin Young Ko, identical resumes, back-to-back groups. They each have 15 LPGA Tour wins and 2 majors to their credit. It was that remarkable 2021 season that they each had 4+ wins on the LPGA Tour, or battling for supremacy. Something that Nelly Korda was able to take last year, this year, and it seems like it's pretty much up for grabs at this point of the season.
It is such a different year this year. When you think back to last year, when it was really dominated by just a couple players, you think it was Lydia Ko's year, you think it was Nelly Korda's year with those 6 wins and 7 events.
That. I think if you try 58, that part looks wet that you landed. I like this play a lot. Good line on it. Trust it.
But then this year, they've had 12 different winners. So completely different season.
I love where Korda has left this ball for her 2nd shot. Got to make sure you judge this ridge in front of her correctly.
Didn't have it high enough.
I will say that's the one part of her game that has slipped. When you think back to last year, how dominant she was just a scrambling machine. She was 4th in strokes gained around the green, but this year she's dropped to 82nd in strokes gained around the green.
Knew something had to be off.
Yeah, that was
because everything else, she's top 10.
I mean, it is, and that was the one part, and you see it. I remember watching her in our featured covering. Stroke is so different.
Korda for birdie. Burns the edge.
And that was really well paced.
capitalize on the par. Here's our look at Nelly Korda.
Very difficult to hit the fairway with this blind tee shot.
Korda able to. Fairway check on the second. For number one, Nelly Korda.
Perfect angle, flighting this ball. Needs to get some spin now.
Giving herself a look. The only birdie putt out of this feature group on two will be Nelly Korda. Picks up the divot, hands it to the caddy. She's cruising up there. Up on the green. How much are you seeing with this Korda birdie putt?
I'm seeing a good amount from left to right. This is all a matter of matching line and speed and committing to it with how fast these greens are.
Now it takes the right turn.
Good roll again. Nice go.
She probably thought she had it 2-3 feet up and rode the high side. Barely too much pace.
It is unbelievable the difference in when you make a putt.
Consecutive pars for Korda. I got a feeling she's going to be a big factor this week at Erin Hills. Feet up the hill for birdie. Downhill tee shot for Korda up on the third.
A lot of right to left tilt in this fairway. This is sneaking the left side.
And that's in the short crowd.
Well, when you have these
that's really good.
elevated greens, that's why it's really important to be able to come in with a high shot. Nelly talked about being a lower ball flighted player. In doing so, you have to make an adjustment and land this just short of the green, if not right on the front. 163 for Nelly. This is out to the right.
It's unusual for tall players to have a lower ball flight. Usually, the more height you get, the higher the ball tends to come off the club face, get that high shot. It's great for link style golf, but definitely adds a level of math of where to
Test Nelly's speed control. First coming up the hill, and then as soon as it gets over the mound, it's going to be so quick and really swing to the left. Can she find the apex of this putt?
And this is just such a great example of U.S. Open setups, U.S. Open green structures, where it is so challenging because players are having to marry both speed and line, where these really long putts having to hit.
There's going to be a lot of marking the ball around the cup. We won't see many tap-ins like we just saw from Lexi.
Korda for par.
You could hear Jason say, great stroke. Yeah, that's, at this point, you just have to stay very positive and confident that you did all that you could do and just didn't find the right line, but put a good stroke on it.
151 yards for Nelly off a slight downslope. 140 to clear the bunker.
Okay. In that same spot I was.
Pin high back left of the green. Korda 1 over through 3, looking for that first birdie on the round. Whereas Mao Saigao has been filling it up, couple under through 3. Tee up to the green, Korda for birdie number 1 today, but this is 33 feet out, Amelia.
Well, the chances that Korda has had today, she's hit the edge. Some really nice putts to start off this round. Last bit of this putt's going to be up the hill.
Oh, read that perfectly.
I had a teammate in college that would yell, "In the jaws!" It was in the jaws. And that's all I can ever think of when there's a putt just right in the middle of the...
Korda cleans up her par.
On 3. Technically, I would call that more of a 3 putt. Continuing to put herself in position is key.
The streak continues.
Korda hit a really big drive, 287 yards, just 145 in. Ball above her feet, sets up great for a little draw.
Not giving herself much of a look there.
It was about a foot off the green.
Fair, fair. It's all right.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too greedy with it and blast it past, but still has a little bit of work left to do. I just found a good spot about midway and had it released down the hill and just kind of hit brakes at the end on the bag. Kind of all taking turns.
I think the branding could have just been a little clearer with the game plan. It was more of a schedule kind of reduction from her going full tilt year to year.
Well, she had
Which, and the game wants her to play as long as she wants to play. She's earned every right to play as much golf as she sees fit. 11-time winner, has won a major as well.
I think Lexi just wanted the pressure off of her and finding an identity outside of golf. Now for Nelly, this is a big par save to avoid a second 3-putt.
Yeah, very nice. And for Lexi, too, I mean, you could see that. You could see that in her results last year. She made that announcement at the Women's U.S. Open last year and then went on, finished tied for 3rd at the Ford Championship, tied for 2nd at Meyer. It felt like it was, you could almost see a physical weight being lifted off of being able to get a club there, but based on the angle that she takes, it can make it a longer, I mean, to make sure she clears the false front.
Would also love to come in with a little fade to this right hole location. This is a lower ball flight, needs to carry the false front.
And it will not.
And that's where having that lower ball flight actually can have quickly a very big knee knocker coming back to save for par.
All right, Amelia, Korda's 2nd to 6.
First time Korda's had to chip since the first hole. Needs to bump it right before that ridge. Now everything races to the back of the green.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, really important to just focus on landing spot, exactly what Nelly.
Sweating these par putts on the 6th.
There are some difficult ones for sure. I would say advantage Nelly because this is a very similar line to Lexi's birdie putt. It had a lot of snap at the end, turning to the left.
He just snapped right in.
What a roll.
That was a part of her game that impressed me so much when she really started dominating on the LPGA Tour. You think of her as this amazing ball striker. You think of her as long and powerful off the tee. But it was so easy to forget how good she was rolling.
Head over to the 7th.
Swing, Nelly.
Korda 6 for 6 finding the fairway.
Can actually help.
Korda sitting pretty in the fairway.
Just want to stay short of 200 yards. That would get you into that bunker. This is drawing. Gonna find the fairway just like Charlie Holes.
Really keep it
Nelly's
here for
coming
Korda.
in with a great angle, a lot of green to work with. Just got to be careful you don't go past this flag. There is a downslope there. This needs to sit, get some spin.
And it does. Korda still hunting.
This really snapped at the hole, so you have to make sure you play a little more break than you think. Nelly's hit a lot of great putts today. They've just burned the edges.
Just never got it high enough to begin with. We saw how much Charlie's broke. And it is just absolutely crazy when you think of Charlie's tee shots, the first 4 holes, just not hitting a fairway, only hitting 1 green, and Nelly just being so consistent, and they're both sitting at 1 over par.
As soon as the putt for Nelly went by, she was motioning for that ball to sit. Once these golf balls run by the hole, it can get so quick.
It's a par for Korda, and that's a rare sight off in the distance. We got a cart driving. They don't allow carts at Erin Hills. It's a walking-only facility for the public. Of course, this week, part of the Golf Channel production team, we get some. We're seeing this one-handed practice swing that Nelly Korda's been doing. It just popped up again. Have you seen this before?
I have not seen Nelly do this. I've noticed it on every shot she's hit. I hope it's just a feel, not something physical that she's dealing with. It looks like a feel, and she's continued to hit every fairway.
I was going to say.
So she's feeling it in the right direction.
She's feeling it with the driver.
She keeps it.
Flip it to the right side. Korda.
137. Coming out of the rough, I would do the same thing Lexi did, use that slope.
Will it catch it? Oh, and it will. We're racing towards the front right portion of the green.
And 2 great shots from missed fairways.
Nelly is still looking for her first birdie of the day. I like this opportunity for her because it's not a downhill putt. She can hit this one with a little more confidence.
She's had a number of looks in this 15 to 20 foot range for birdie.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you're kidding. That has to keep moving.
I just almost want to give it a second. Oh, I see space between the ball and just the edge of the cup. I was thinking that might fall. Just one more rotation back in.
Adds up to just another par.
She hit that very confidently solid putt, and it looks like it might just fall back in off of the lip, but instead, for game 13th in greens and regulation on the LPGA Tour.
Yeah.
With the downhill, plays about 8, and downwind, really only about a 120 shot. This is a 50 degree from Nelly.
Safely on the green, good shot by Korda. Korda on 9.
Oh. It could be very easy to get frustrated if you are Nelly Korda, just how many opportunities she's given herself for birdies. And just, she's a player that does stay very positive and always talks about the process. And
Shot a fine with the 7. I think this is 62.
156 yards to the hole for Nelly. Does play uphill, about half a club. On a slight upslope, got lucky this ball not being in the divot.
Jason,
Trying to do a similar strategy to hole.
yeah, Jason saying it was a perfect 162, and that just did not come back. Just a little bit farther left than the shot Charlie hit, so didn't get that backstop or the spin.
Everything's been barely off with the iron game for Nelly Korda.
Yeah.
Up by the green. A couple clubs for Nelly's. Now she's made her choice. What are we seeing here, Amelia?
I see an interesting play that Nelly is not going with a putter. My prediction as to why is this is so fast, a putter would just gather too much speed. With a wedge, you can try and spin it.
Interesting. I was also surprised she didn't go putter. Will it pay off? And it does.
She had to be just so delicate with that. Just what feel and touch on that chip shot. Barely
Yeah,
gets it bumped on.
You're comfortable if you can. You want to get careful on how much you cut the left corner. Really important to be in the fairway here. Now this is leaking to the right.
Yeah, it had a really good ground bounce, though, back to the left. Another middle of the fairway found.
That's why it's really important to know.
And Korda at 11.
Korda trying to use the backstop behind the hole.
Check quickly. Did not think we'd be following Nelly Korda walking up to the 11th green, and that putter has yet to make a single birdie in this first round.
I'm screwed otherwise.
But she is staying afloat at 1 over par. The leader's at 4 under. And she's still got 2 par 5s coming up on this side at 14 and 18, and it's 13 feet away here on the 11th for birdie. Korda at 11.
Nelly has made 1 bogey and the rest pars. If this can go in, I can see her pulling out a 2 under round today.
It's gonna turn, go.
Man, every single putt has been like that. Just 2 1-putts on the day.
Amelia, the part that surprised me is she hasn't had a single birdie putt inside 10 feet. Up to 12 again. Korda.
This is leaking towards that right side, needs to carry.
Oh, it does. Massive bounce down that hill.
Check out all that rollout.
How far? 112, 117, 110. How far those?
How about this
go?
drive from Nelly Korda? 303 yards. Just 83 yards into this flag.
Got to put one in there close. There it is.
Maybe she heard us talking, saying she hasn't seen a putt inside 10 feet yet for birdie.
But
Yeah, I like that a
I
lot.
wonder if we'll get the same reaction from Nelly Korda after her first birdie.
This is the part of the game where you can't want it too much. Nelly's had so many good looks, but you have to make sure that you just stick with your process. It's so easier said than done, though, when you've had so many attempts that haven't gone in the hole.
Another miss for Korda.
That just looked tentative, Amanda.
Yeah, she isn't hitting bad putts. She's had a lot of really close calls, but then that one is another just missed birdie opportunity. She's hitting the ball in good spots, solid off the tee, and it's just about that staying patient, because it can get very frustrating not seeing birdies fall.
I agree. Nelly's hit a lot of good putts. That short one, though, that felt a little wishful. Just a slight decel right at the end.
Yeah, trying to not force anything and jam it past, but that did.
And finally, Korda.
The breeze has started to pick up into, this is a high ball.
That trickles off the green. 4th missed green today for Nelly Korda. That was great by Thompson. Scramble mode for everyone in our feature group here on 13.
And Nelly had a great touchy chip shot that she hit on the 10th hole. This is similar, trying to hit something into the slope.
Yeah, expecting it to check up a little bit more than it did. It was so fast down that hill. Just kept trucking.
miss the birdie putt on the last.
I like that a lot.
It's easy to have doubt start to creep in. She has made a couple of good par saves, particularly on the 6. That was the longest putt she's made. It was about 6 feet for par.
And she's got 6 feet for par right here. Arm cam showing the break from right to left. Well read and well holed by Korda.
Yeah, that was much more, I want to say aggressive, but definitely hit with more confidence than the previous putt. Good confident stroke on that. A birdie opportunity now to Nelly Korda.
The strength of Nelly's game today has been her driver. She only missed one fairway, and that was getting through the fairway, not directionally.
Try to do something fairly similar to what Lexi did, but instead that would hang up on that.
I mean, as long as it goes 120, we're good.
Yeah, that's perfect now.
It's only 215 yards to the hole for Nelly, but because of this lie, just needs to play for her third, make birdie the old-fashioned way. Still looking for that first birdie as well.
Up to Korda's third on the 14th.
Korda's left this in a great spot, a perfect angle, just has to be left of the flag. 108 yards, you want to land this 5 short.
Oh, that absolutely spun on the number. She might be on her pitch mark.
Birdie putt after birdie putt for Nelly Korda.
Her 2 birdie attempts on par 5s have been outside of 15 feet. She hasn't given herself many close looks. Not a bad opportunity, though, to try and make the first birdie of the day, and you never know how you can close it out when you finally get that momentum birdie.
Oh, it did not seem like she hit it hard enough. Will it get there?
Oof.
It's just that kind of day. I mean, she could easily have 4 putts that should have fallen.
Yeah, she just keeps putting herself in good positions off the tee. Solid.
I asked Nelly's caddy Jason about the one-arm practice swing that Nelly's been doing. It's just a swing feel, nothing more. Nelly pushing this one down there. Got to make sure you avoid that bunker in the middle of the fairway. That's 250.
Swing,
this
Nelly.
is out to the right and drawing back.
It is so important for all the players in the field. If they elect to lay up, just make sure they really lay up, that they're not flirting with bunkers, flirting with trouble, making those 3 players have really smart plays with long.
Just 109 yards for Korda. Very elevated green, plays about half a club more. Ridge on the left side she can use. Gotta stay left of the flag, though.
Once again in that 15 to 20 foot range.
I like where you're at, though.
Amelia, is it happening?
Yeah.
Is this going to be birdie number 1?
Yes, I'm willing this in. She's had 2 great looks from Charlie and Lexi, seeing that it's a little slower, and got a really good read from Lexi. Plays about a cup and a half out, slightly less due to Nelly's angle. She's due for one, though.
She is very due.
And like you said, with just being a little bit slower, she will have the opportunity to make a nice, confident, a little bit more aggressive stroke. Well, that did not seem like it had enough pace. Is it going to get there?
Oh man, it didn't, Amanda. You're right. It was a short backstroke.
Another one like that.
Well, she was talking all day about how patience is key, and she is definitely having to practice.
You carry this hole high. Don't get too cute with it. Try and be at the front of the green. There's a little false front that will bring the ball back. Starting this out right for Nelly. Needs to draw.
All three on the green. Nelly furthers pull the putter cover off. That's a par for Korda on 16.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's Nelly Korda. 10 of 12 fairways so far today.
The driver has been the best part of Nelly's game today, and that shot was no different.
And you could almost put a little asterisk next to.
And Nelly at 17.
This is a really deceptive green. You don't have as much behind the hole as it looks in the yardage book. Great distance control. It's been like that all day for Nelly. It's just making that 20-footer.
The hole that Nelly Korda finally gets a circle on the card.
Well, Nelly got a great read from Hall. This is going to break right at the end.
Another
Gotta
20-foot
hit it.
birdie putt.
Try.
Her putts per GIR a flat 2.0 today.
Yeah.
You know, with such confidence.
Nelly Korda.
This is headed right. 240 to clear the bunkers on the right.
Oh, keeps it in the fairway. What a... Can Korda reach 248?
She has the firepower to get there. 238 front. This is a good-looking golf shot.
Well, maybe she just had to reach the green.
There isn't a ton of swing to it. It's all about pace. That's one thing where Nelly's distance control has been super solid. She's just left everything on the edge.
Same deal here.
It kind of almost feels like we're in Groundhog's Day a little bit with the way she played today. Just very consistent off the tee, great approach shots, about that distance. We just saw her putt for eagle. And
I mean, it's
tap
supposed to be statistically harder to hit the edge of the cup than the middle. And somehow Nelly's found a way to hit the edge almost every time.
She has 1 feet 3 inches for birdie. If she makes that, she'll have made 39 feet 8 inches of total putts for the entire day. If you break it down per hole. Korda, first birdie.
all right.
And we had to wait till the 18th hole. How would you grade her round if it's that even par 72, Amanda?
I would almost have to give her 2 separate grades. A solid A for most of her play. It was just...
I hope they got that on camera.
And I don't even feel like I saw her really putt poorly. It was just... It felt almost more unlucky, or just like it was just a little bit off. So A- if you want to final answer.
Yeah, I give the putter like